Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the very first of the mod showcases for the channel, or whatever I end up actually calling this series. A simple series in which we're going to be taking a look at the mods available on the Steam Workshop, and we're going to see if we want to use them in future runs. So today, we are taking a look at the Bioform Civic mod for the Hive Mind, in addition to the Scourge ship mod, which honestly, looks amazing as well. Now, before we continue, I would like to say that this is still an early version of this mod. It's still being worked on, so if there are any balance issues or any weird moments, again, early access version of the mod, it will be changed likely as we continue. Also, early access, not exactly what I wanted to say there, but we're going to go with it. So what exactly is the Bioform Civic? The Bioform Civic converts you into a Bioform Hive Empire. Your starting world is a Biohive. Biohive's bombardment damage is reduced by 75%, they cannot be invaded, and they have custom districts. So essentially, you already start off in a very specialized world, which I already absolutely adore. After this, colonies. You can colonize 0% habitable worlds. Colonies become young biohives. You can grow the young biohive by using 2 planetary decisions. And here's where it gets really weird. Your economy. You cannot use the galactic market. Your internal market fee is set at 75%. Your food max stockpile is increased by 50,000. Your ships cost less alloys by 60%. And districts, buildings, star bases, and ships all cost food and exotic gases. This entire empire is driven by biomatter. So we are here to devour the entire galaxy, and this is why I had to use the Scourge mod as well, because it just fits so well. We are the endgame crisis, we are the invaders, and of course, I'm pairing this with the Devouring Swarm. Maybe this is going to be really overpowered, maybe it's not, we're going to find out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and play the game for maybe 50 or 100 years, we'll see, and get a first impressions of the mod. By no means is this a definitive showcase, but I just want to see what it's all about. So then, into the game. And here's all the stats like usual, going for a quite high difficulty run. And before we begin, of course in the description there will be links to the Steam Workshop pages for both of these mods. Here we are at the beginning of a brand new galaxy, and let's take a look-see at the most important part of this mod, the Biohive itself. So the Biohive has 4 unique districts, and each of them is honestly quite interesting. So to begin with, we have the Hive Chamber, nice and simple, it costs food and gas, and it gives us housing and amenities, but most importantly, it uses gas for the upkeep. Normally, that would be a big issue, but thankfully with the Biohive, we can create our own gas very, very easily, and that's starting to sound weird and very silly very quickly itself. So next we have the Geothermal Tendril, which gives us energy and minerals, and a lot of them, by giving us 3 geothermal drone jobs. We then have the Bubbling Pool, which gives us the gases at the cost of energy and alloys. And then finally, we have what is most important for basic stuff. We have the Growth Chamber giving us 3 farming jobs, which gives us lots of food at the cost of energy and minerals. So it's very different to most economies, with a lot of different resources being exchanged, but no real secondary type of resource, except maybe the exotic gases, but of course normally you have those in regular empires anyway, just not for more basic stuff. So, I think what's most important then, is we focus on always having the food, because food is used for everything. Do you want to purchase any building? Well, you need food. Would you like to buy a ship? You need food. Do you want to spread your influence to a new system? Guess what you need? That's right, potatoes, aka food. So before we continue though, let's have a quick look-see at our ships. So these are our ships, currently looking like the Scourge. We have the science ship, the construction, and these terrifying looking little corvettes. They look disgusting in a good way, because they are absolutely gross, and I can't wait to get the destroyers, the cruisers, and battleships, and see what all of those look like. Even our star base has been altered. Yeah, it's not the most pleasant thing, is it? So, I'll be right back once more stuff has happened, and we can keep on checking out how the swarm works. I'm really curious on expanding to new worlds, the whole point of having a young biohive, which will slowly upgrade over time. Also, let's have a quick look-see at our planetary features. We have nutritious creep, dissolving creep, and digestive creep, which give us food, energy, minerals, and gas all passively. I imagine we'll get those on the new planets as we upgrade them. And we're probably going to be quite aggressive, so any ship upgrades, very welcome. One thing I've just noticed is that even upkeep is normally food, so ships, stations, starbases, all comes out of your food total. That is kind of brutal. Okay, grabbing our first world. This will require 1,000 food and 100 exotic gas. Ooh, I'm hoping I'll get to keep the bonuses, because I don't think we keep any of the blockers. So, by the looks of things, honestly, the main strength of this type of swarm, the bio version, the bio hive, is that you can inhabit any world. Although, it does also seem very expensive. Once you grab the world, you then have to upgrade it twice before it's a normal world. So it's more expensive, but like the machine empires, you get all of the worlds, but then you have all the other bonuses of being a hive mind. At least, that's what it looks like. Still very early on right now. We have 3 systems and no worlds other than our main world. Yeah, bit early. Our first world has been colonized, and we have the young Biohive modifier, minus 40% resources and minus 40% population growth, both of which are actually very, very brutal. Although we do have... what do we have to begin with? The nutritious creep, giving us plus 5 food. Okay, so let's solve this by starting to grow the Biohive. This takes the 40% and turns it to only minus 20%. Still pretty brutal, but nowhere near as so. In fact, half as so. Half as so, half as much. Words. Aren't they silly? Gotta be honest, seeing the Scourge do any form of science is actually kind of terrifying.
Our construction is complete.
Look at his happy face. That's happy, right? Sure. He loves doing science. So now, the colony is a growing biohive. The world grows stronger. And it's replaced its old creep with dissolving creep, producing energy and minerals. So I'm assuming in the last one, we'll replace that with the gas creep, similar to... where are you? This one here. It seems to be going down this road. So... oh, it's same price, but takes much longer. Wait, no, is that double the gas? Was it 100 before and 200 now? I can't quite remember. Either way, it's 1,000 minerals, 200 gas. That's all that's important, really. So, go ahead. Still very expensive, though. We have 2 more worlds on the way. I don't think I'll be able to keep on activating this. Also, I've got to be careful about how much I expand. With all of the stations, like all of the mining stations, costing us food, that's stacking up really quickly. I don't really need that many minerals or energy, so... it seems like the resources in space are less important, but of course the minerals and energy will feed into the food, and it is definitely worth it to get them, but definitely something to consider, as I purchased that anyway, because I can't help myself. Lathrix's alternate name. Lathros. Or perhaps even the full Lathros Prime. Because who doesn't want to be a machine? Wow, it's going to take a while. So no, it is indeed the same cost as before, it's always 200 gas. To be fair, until we have a few more workers here anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. I just would like that to be affected as soon as possible. We don't need those at all, because we instantly destroy all tile blockers. We are literally devouring them. So, leader pool size? A little while later, and I'm realising now that the economy is actually very difficult to balance if you're not used to it, and because this is the first proper playthrough with this particular empire type, yeah, I've been messing up terribly. Need to start focusing on actual numbers for once. You know, in this number-driven game. Making ourselves a small fleet just to defend ourselves. We now have enemies on both sides. Our worlds are actually coming along quite nicely. Now we've finally figured out how to set up the districts. And we are maturing the biohives. Fantastic. So with the ships, it costs food, alloys, and gas. And I believe the alloys are mostly coming from the components. Which makes sense. Still, the vast majority is food, which is great, so we can still focus on that. Our energy is dwindling, but honestly, as long as it's increasing by any amount, we don't really care. Everything on the starbase either costs food, or a combination of food, alloys, and gas. Pretty much what was expected, honestly. Okay, we've got enough fleet power to at least deal some damage to those who attack us, but as it stands, they will defeat us. So we need to focus more on our fleet power, which thankfully, the upkeep isn't absolutely destroying us with, so that's okay. Let's see, energy credits consumed, starbases, which is the stuff on the starbases, jobs, planet... okay, good, so that means our ships are not costing us energy. I'm getting Halo vibes now. Always wanted to be the Flood. So, we're about to find out something. Since we're going to war very, very soon, I am planning on trying to take as many worlds as possible. Don't really care about systems, really want more planets. What happens when we invade a world? Will it instantly become a biohive, or will it take time to convert? Because if it instantly becomes a biohive, remember, a biohive can't be invaded. It simply takes bombardment damage, and I assume you can eventually cleanse it somehow. It's hard to tell without being able to fight another biohive, but either way, if we instantly make it into a biohive, that's going to be really, really powerful. The enemy are just not getting that back. We're going to find out soon. Well, we really need more alloys. I just upgraded my ships, and now I'm completely drained dry. Need to remember, to get gas, we need alloys, so we are losing them constantly. Also, our ships still have upkeep with alloys, so bear that in mind for the future. Don't need anywhere near as many as a regular empire, but we do need them. Also, we are now finally researching destroyers. As soon as we have some destroyers, I'm going to war. Ooh, they're bordering us. That's not very nice. We have a single destroyer, and look how adorably tiny it is. It's just about as big as the Corvette, it's a little bit bigger. And I think the model is actually one of the strike craft from some of the larger Scourge units. I love having organic ships. I hope at some point Stellaris does make organic ships a thing, which hive minds can have. The swarm moves. Think it looks a bit weird with the exhaust trails, gotta be honest, but still, pretty cool. Okay, I've gotta be honest, the destroyers, I was a little bit concerned about how they looked, I wasn't quite happy with them. Now I really like them. Yeah, I want more like that. I wonder what the cruiser is. Destroyers just having lasers through their heads. Lovely. So we just started the war, and instantly we managed to ambush one of their fleets, which was just chilling right here on the border. Oh, that's a strong hive. They built a bastion for some reason. Wonder why. Also, flak coming out of their head also looks incredibly weird. Let's be real. You know what, let's do this. It'll cost us loads of food to have all these, but you know what, why not? Other than the fact it'll cost us loads of food, as just mentioned. Here's their larger fleet. Just seeing the lasers just pop through their heads is so weird. But I kind of love it. Beautiful. Okay, let's re-grab this. Grab that back, take that, and then just chill on the border for a while. Ooh, this one has no shield, which is actually good for us since all of our weapons are good versus armor. We are infesting a world already.
Enemy nest taken.
Okay, so what happens then? Oh, no, it's still a continental world. So what happens then? Okay, I found it. So we can convert the world into one of our worlds, but it simply costs us. Oh, look at that, though. All of these lovely things being broken down. The machines into alloys. The lovely little adorable fellows into food and research. It's so beautiful. Now, 0% habitability, that's gonna really suck and cost us a lot of stuff, but still, as soon as we have enough food, we simply convert the world. That's a good way of doing that. That's a very good way of doing that, in my opinion. Ooh, that's a nasty looking station. Is it still worth going for? Can I status quo? Almost. Also, this needs to become a bastion, because that is a very, very scary empire. Oh, it's a devouring swarm! That's us! Ooh, overwhelming fleet power, though. Yeah, that's not the best. Thankfully, this wasn't a bastion. Okay, how strong is this? Still weak enough that our ground forces should be running there any second now. Yep, there they go. Moving over there, let's go towards their home.
Planetary Features begun.
Their food will be used to improve our fleets. And by their food, I mean their flesh. Their flesh is food. We are eating them, is what I'm saying. But I really want their homeworld. Once again, a nice easy takeover. And this is going to be a lot of people being eaten. We now have the extra civic slot, so let's grab... Divided Attention might be nice, just for now. Just to speed along a bit of research, since we are a bit behind at the moment. Though less amenities is really good, so I'm going with that instead. Well, here's something pretty brutal. It turns out the regular districts cost gas to upkeep. Now, I'm assuming they will convert once we convert the worlds. The problem is, it's upkeeping so much gas, we don't have the gas to convert the worlds. Yeah, so I'm leaving them in these two. Hopefully, they will change as soon as the world becomes a biohive. But for all the others, yep, just going to remove all the districts because it's costing us way too much. We can now build cruisers, which are sharing the models with the science ships, and honestly, this is more what I was expecting. So, what do we want to do here? How do we want to set these things up? You know what? Too bad. We're terrible versus shields, but I think that'll look cool. And set that up as... Oh, we could have them as artillery. Just because it'd be fun to watch them at such long range, lobbing these plasma throwables. Sure. Because it'll be fun. Right now, though, the plasma throwers aren't exactly that great until we upgrade them, so too bad. We're still going to use them anyway, because once again, I think it'll look cool. There's no other reason why we're using this. Lovely. There is something very satisfying knowing that the world you've invaded and the populations you've devoured are literally going into these ships. That food is now taking this form. It's very Tyrannid. It's very Scourge, I suppose. Okay, now last world to convert into a biohive. Come on, hurry up. Lovely. Which is good, because now I start sorting out all of this. Once again, we do need alloys at the moment, because that's one of the things halting our ship production.
Our construction is complete.
So I'll turn on you as well. Good. Good. Now we need to save up to start converting these. Getting our swarm ready so we can take on the other devouring swarm. I think that's the best thing to do at the moment because they're currently being distracted, and honestly they are terrifying and in a position to attack us. If we can claim this section here, perhaps one of their worlds, that will be more than enough. I know that the main mod we're looking at right now is the Biohive mod, but I've got to be honest, I love this Scourge mod so much. How have I never used this before? Currently attacking the enemy devouring swarm. Let's see how the cruisers do. I imagine this is going to look more Scourge-like than the lasers and such, honestly. Yeah, that's more like it. That's more like how the Scourge normally looks. In fact, that just looks awesome. Okay, love that a bit. Now you should be able to invade this straight away, so go ahead and do that. The rest of my forces, where's their next world? Any worlds over here? One. Worlds over here? Lots. Well, actually, not as many as I'd expect from a devouring swarm. We could just go this way so we can grab some of these stations. Sure, let's do that. Now attacking one of their major swarms. Oh, please don't say you're focusing on those. I think you were. Darn it. Now you're focusing on these fellows. Good.
Our construction is complete.
Okay, let's take back that world. So, at this point, I think it's safe to say we are winning quite drastically. Every time there's been a fight, we have just utterly crushed the other Devouring Swarm, and we are very quickly grabbing all of their territory. So, to answer the question, what happens when you convert a world, then the enemy attack it? It simply gets destroyed. As you can see now, it's reverted back to a continental world, but it's no longer a colony. So that's what just happened. Annoyingly, although we are winning all the fights and the enemy are being crushed over and over again, the enemy are kind of everywhere. They definitely have more ships than us, although they are more spread out, so taking them over is more annoying than it really should be. So what I'm going to do is just take over all this again, and then call it a status quo, and probably end the video there. Thankfully, all new cruisers finally have upgraded versions of the plasma cannons. Considering I want to use them so much, that's pretty good. Okay, shall we just call this status quo, or shall we grab some more? We might as well grab some more, especially since this has some special resources. In fact, it has several. Lovely. Don't really mind them taking back this section, I just want this section. I was going to quit the video here. I think I've seen enough, and honestly, I'm tempted to do a full playthrough with this particular swarm type. I love the fact it's got benefits in that once you convert a world, there's no way for the enemy to get it back, and you are devouring the world itself. And I also love the fact it is biomass, which drives everything, so when you eat another species, you are literally making ships out of their corpses. I love the theme of it more than anything else. It's very difficult to get into in terms of managing the economy, because it's so different to usual. But once he gets going, it's a lot of fun. Also, I love the Scourge mod to bits, I think I've mentioned several times now, but here's the thing. We're about to get battleships. And I've just got loads of engineering research as well from researching some of the battle debris. So hopefully soon, we'll have our battleships. And so we have the battleships, like really, really angry Cthulhu space whales. And once again, absolutely love that. I believe these are the second largest of the regular Scourge forces, with the Broodmothers being a bit larger, if that's their name, so I imagine the Broodmother will likely be the Titans. Really, really love that. When the whole swarm's together, that looks absolutely fantastic. So, what is my overall opinion then? Honestly, I really enjoyed this. I think, to begin with, I was a bit skeptical on certain elements, and I was playing it really, really badly, but as the game developed, and the fact you can continuously upgrade your worlds until they eventually mature, I think that's a really cool feature, and definitely a cool aspect. There's a lot more micromanaging with this particular civic type than a lot of others, I will say that. But it is really, really fun, and honestly, I'm tempted to do a full run with this, so tell me what you think in the comments below. I am really curious. And before we go to the outro, remember, in the description there will be a link to all 3 mods we've used today. We, of course, have the AI mod, as always, we have the Hive mod, and we have the Playable Scourge mod. I've really enjoyed all of them. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. And also, these mod testing videos are also something you'd like to see. Of course, with some mods, we will need to use console commands and skip to future years, because, well, some of them are very endgame, but ones like this, we can just play for a few years and just see how it pans out at the start. So tempted to do a full run with this. Thank you, and goodbye. Long live the Scourge.